Don't say no? How about you just can't say no? Let's go. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. You found your way over to the Modest Audiophile channel, and yes, today we're going to talk about Billy Squier's second studio album, Don't Say No. An absolutely incredible record. I forgot how incredible until recently, hence why we're talking about it today. So real brief, in this video today, we're going to discuss a brief comparison, just really the packaging. I'm not going to get into the audio differences between the two, but we're going to discuss the differences of the packaging. We're going to discuss the overall sound quality of the new record, the 2018 Intervention record to be exact. We'll go over soundstage imaging, we'll go over some decibel level checks, we'll go over the tone stack, and then we'll talk about some of the songs and what I may have heard for the very first time, and I did, or what was coming through emotionally that I'd never felt before, which I haven't, and we'll get on with that in a few minutes. But first, how did I get here? So, Don't Say No, again, I was 12 years old when this thing came out in 1981. Junior high school, and it hit all the marks back in the day. This thing could be heard in the roller skating rink. It could be heard on the block party weekend. It could be heard everywhere. In fact, I have a vivid memory, again in junior high school, and some of the older kids that were there, they had those 3/4 sleeve, you remember it, 3/4 sleeve concert t-shirts or concert shirts, and I can remember the older kids coming back with Billy Squier's Don't Say No concert tours, and for whatever reason it logged in my head. All right, enough about that. So back to hearing it on the radio. Well, a couple months ago I did. Nice summer day, I'm driving around, I'm listening to Sirius XM Classic Rewind, and this thing comes on. I think it was actually Lonely as the Night. You know, that famous air drum and air guitar song. Easy to do when you got a nice steering wheel in front of you. And I'm like, damn, I gotta go out and get this thing. And about a week or two later, I'm at the local used record store, and I found one. I found this, an original Winchester pressing, 1981 Capitol Records, that I paid $15 for, $14.99. I was stoked. I come home, I give this thing a nice bath in the Humming Guru, clean it up nicely, put it on the record player, got my favorite beverage, kick back, drop the needle, and oh man, was it fantastic. It really was. I forgot how much I love this album. It was the best that I had ever heard it. I owned it on cassette. I owned it on CD. I'd never owned it on vinyl before. And you do get something a little bit different there for sure. As well as quite a bit of Rice Krispie treatment, if I'm being honest. This thing, although it cleaned up very nice, there was no scratches. It was just a very well-worn, loved piece of vinyl, and got me thinking, this thing sounds so good, let me do some snooping. So I went on the internet, tried to see if there was a more recent copy of this. Has it been remastered? Is there any specialty pressings, anything like that? Well, what I did find was that yes, in 2018, a company by the name of Intervention Records produced one. I'm like, Intervention Records, I had never heard of them before. So again, I get on their website, which I'll leave a link below for you to read for yourself. And the first thing I do is I read about the company. And I won't read the whole thing here, but I'll tell you what grabbed my attention. And it's this. I believe is the founder's name, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Shane Buettner, B-U-E-T-T-N-E-R. Anyway, it says, welcome, I'm Shane Buettner, founder and boss of Intervention Records. IR exists for one simple reason: to produce archive quality LPs of music we love. Oh, you've got my attention, Shane. And then it has a section about better sound, transparent sourcing, all that wonderful stuff. So I'll lead you to go there and read about this pretty interesting company. They don't have a huge catalog, but what they have, it's going to be good. All right. So then I went on Amazon, and for $39.98, I think it was, and I'll leave a link or a I'll leave a picture here or a link anyway. I don't get credit for any of this, just want to share the good news with you folks. But yes, at Amazon you could still get it for $39 something. And I also checked Intervention's website today, and for $40, essentially the same exact price, you can still buy this there as well. And I suggest you do if you are a fan of this thing. It's that good. All right, so now let's talk about the packaging of the 2018 Intervention record. That's what we're going to talk about from now on. And it did come with the sticker on it. And I'll read it to you real quick because this is also something that separates Intervention from some other labels as well. Billy Squier, Don't Say No. Triple Platinum Classic Rock. Smash hits The Stroke, In the Dark, My Kind of Lover, Lonely as the Night. 100% analog mastering from the original master tapes by Kevin Gray. 180 gram vinyl, pressed at Gotta Groove Records, beautifully restored gatefold, artist approved. And I think actually I came upon Intervention Records was I was reading a blurb about Billy Squier actually referencing this particular pressing and how he was blown away after he heard this, and he stated that yes, it was the best version of this record that he has heard. So who am I to argue? That's why I went to the website, blah, 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 and I did pick it up, although through Amazon.com. All right, so that is that's the sticker, the hype sticker on the front. Just like with everything else that Intervention does supposedly, they really like the artist take on the album cover art, and they will make gatefolds out of single sleeve record covers that they were originally. So this is a gatefold. Front. Back. Did I mention it was produced by Stoughton Printing too? Tip-on jacket. Inside. Very, very nice. And most importantly, it slips into an outer poly sleeve with no problems. All right, so you saw the overall condition of the presentation. It's fantastic. Really second to none than anything else. I'll put it up there with Mobile Fidelity. I'll put it up there with Analog Productions. I'll put it up there with Rhino High Fidelity. And in this case, like I stated, it will fit into that outer poly sleeve too. What about the vinyl condition? Well, the vinyl condition was excellent. Nice thick piece of vinyl, 180 grams. It was flat. There were no warpage in there, no pops, clicks, skips. Absolutely silent. The only thing you heard on this record was the music. Now I did clean it, did the same thing, brought it home, putting on the Humming Guru, and then put the needle down, and it was perfect in every single way. I will put this record up there against the best ones that I have for overall quality of the actual piece of vinyl itself. All right, how about the tone stack? So the bass, trebles, mids. Let me just say first and foremost, it is very well balanced. It has got a ton of punch. The bass on this thing is thick, meaty. It's got weight behind it. It's really, really good. You're not going to want for bass. The mids, spectacular. It's like having that Marshall lead in your room. I don't have wallpaper, but if I did, it would be peeling off the walls. The mids on this thing are excellent. That 1960 Fender Tele is screaming throughout this record. It's insane. So guitar tones are great. Vocals are great. Drums got punch. Some keyboards on here. The mids are wonderful. And as far as the treble goes, more great stuff there as well. Apart from getting some nice feeling of air and space in the overall image, which you do get, you also get a lot of great high-end shimmer and sparkle, especially on those cymbal crashes, the cymbal decays. It's really good. So the overall tone stack is fantastic. Soundstage and imaging. You're not left wanting here either. Now, soundstage it's big. It's ceiling to floor, and it's left to right of my speakers, a good 4.5 plus, maybe pushing 5 feet. A very wide, tall soundstage. And again, back to the overall image, laser sharp. It's one of the best images I've heard in several months now. Really good. You have excellent laser sharp image of where all the instruments are, nothing bleeding into each other, just incredible. The depth, very nice depth. The instruments at sometimes, and the vocals at sometimes, are presenting themselves in front of the speakers or in the listening space, as well as going all the way back towards the back wall. So in my room, I have my wall is 3 feet back behind the speakers, and it also presents itself about a foot into the room, so a good 4 feet of depth. Anyway, close your eyes, listen to it with your mind's eye, watch it with your mind's eye, I don't know, something like that. An incredible image nonetheless. All right, I did do some decibel level checks, 3 in particular. I have my Rotel integrated amp set at 68, which is normal for all the records that I listened to, so I didn't have to go up, I didn't have to go down. It was in a really good spot as far as volume goes. Now, the first song I did was song number 1 on side 1, In the Dark. I had a low end of 74 decibels, a high end of 90, for an average of 85 dBs. And I was loving every minute of the 85 average decibels. The second song, The Stroke, has a low end of 56 decibels, a high end of 91 for an average of 83 decibels. Flip it over, and then that song, first song, side 2, Lonely is the Night. I say that and you can hear it in your head. We'll get there. Low end of 41 decibels. It's that break in between the drums and guitar. Anyway, low end of 41, high of 90 for an average of 83 decibels. So very good punch, pop, smack, whatever you want to say, a nice range. And I put here, all you do hear is the music. Let me reiterate that. The silent parts of this record in between songs and the quieter passages, there aren't a lot, but it's dead silent. You don't hear a darn thing. No surface noise, nothing. Great job, Intervention Records. All right, now let's get into the songs and how this thing sounds, and I'll pull out some of the things I heard for the very first time, which I did, or some of the things that I thought was just, oh my gosh, I gotta mention this, which I will. All right, side 1 starts with the song In the Dark. You know it. It's got that slow build fade in, then all of a sudden, punch with power punches the rest of the band. Oh my gosh, the drums, the guitar, right away, it's like, holy smokes, this thing is gonna be awesome, and it was. I wrote here, F yeah, what a great, just smiles. Immediately, the smile on my face was huge. Like that, I said earlier, that 1960 Fender Telecaster, that amp, that Marshall lead was sizzling. This is a great guitar album, but right off the bat, you're getting it full force. And then something that I'd never heard of before is in the center of the image, there's a cymbal, right? And in the center of the cymbal is where the drummer is hitting it. You get a very distinctive ring. And that ring was pushing its way through the mix very well in isolation. I never heard that before. Not to that extent. What a great way to open up a new experience with this album, In the Dark. All right, on to the second song, The Stroke. You've heard it everywhere. You've never heard it like this before, let me tell you. It has more of a live feel to it. It's got great image separation. It's literally, yeah, this is very easy to say and it's commonplace. Yeah, you're in the room with them. Yeah. Put it this way, I got a feeling like I was sharing a club where maybe I and only a handful of people were there, and they're right up on stage and they're punching you in the face with this thing. Thump, snarl, big presentation. Is easily the best version I've ever heard of this song. Absolute dumbstruck about how good this thing sounded. Gets you going is what I put. On to song number 3, another hit. I mean, the first 3 songs on this thing, In the Dark, The Stroke, and then song number 3, My Kind of Lover. The guitar intro, and then that cymbal. It's almost like they have an effect. I don't know if they do. The cymbal sounds like the original hit of it was being played backwards. Regardless, that cymbal, as soon as it hits, it fills up the entire space of your listening room. Like I said, treble, yeah, this thing's not lacking for treble. And it's not obtrusive, it wasn't ear fatiguing, it was glorious. What a way to start this song. I put excellent depth as well. Best version I ever heard of My Kind of Lover. All right, song number 4, You Know What I Like. It starts with a snare and it's got power. In fact, I put ferocious attack, energy this song has. Excellent image and depth. It's just a great listening experience. It's got some panning, it's got some fading within the soundstage, so it is entertaining in that sense. And during a break in the music, the rhythm guitar is being played on the left side of the soundstage. And again, that rhythm guitar, the crunchiness of it, in isolation, it's sitting right there. The amp is cooking right there in your room. Anyway, fantastic. You Know What I Like. And then the last song on side 1 is called 2 Days Gone. And I just put it's a great rocker. You're going to have some familiar tones, some familiar licks, some familiar rhythm that you listen to this, you're like, I can pick out 3 different bands that this sounds like. It almost is like Sammy Hagar mixes with Judas Priest. You get a little bit of Chicken Foot in there as well. It's a great tune, just a great tune. You feel like you're at the club, it's in your face, and everything is so visual and locked. This is easily the whole album is great from a image like I mentioned earlier, but this one you sit back, close your eyes, and it's simple. They're all right there playing for you, and it's glorious. Hey everybody, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming on by today. I appreciate it. If this is your first time here, snoop around a little bit. You might just find something else you like. And if you have been here before, from me to you, thank you. Hey, if you like this information, if you like these type of videos, yeah, go down there and hit like. If you want to support the channel a little bit further and have it not cost you a dime, yeah, please go down there and hit subscribe. It would really help the channel up. And you know what? You don't like it 3, 4, 5 months later, you can always take it away. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to Billy Squier, Don't Say No. No, 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 you can't say no to this. It's that good. All right, let's get on to side 2. Side 2 starts with Lonely is the Night. And I'm smiling here because the first thing I wrote down here, you know the song. You can hear it in your head. I say Lonely is the Night. You can hear the intro. And the first thing I wrote down was, what the WTF? That guitar intro was insane. Absolutely great. And then after that first verse comes to a conclusion, right? The rest of the band comes in and thump, punch. Oh my gosh, you couldn't get enough of it. It was insane. The cymbal crash at that point, that's one of the crashes that comes a foot into the room, right into the room, fills it up. I almost felt like I belonged in that old Memorex commercial, right? Where I'm just getting blown away by the sound waves. This thing was insanely good. What I haven't heard before is the actual hi-hat to the level of detail that I heard in this version. The hi-hat is in the center of the soundstage, extremely articulate. Very, very nice. In fact, there's a lot more going on in this song with all of the cymbals. There's a lot going on with the cymbals, which again, I had never heard before. Never heard the separation of multiple cymbals. It was all just kind of coming at me at once, but not on this pressing. You really get a visual depiction of all the cymbal action going on within the soundstage. Yeah, I just put great effing tune. This one did elicit an emotional response. I couldn't believe how much I was digging this song. Heard it hundreds of times. Never have I ever heard it like this. Fantastic. Whew! All right, that gets us to the second song. What Do You Want From Me? And I put some of the most realistic drums I've ever heard. It starts off with the drums, but in this case, you've got body behind it, weight, presence. Yeah, a realness factor on these drums, which was really tasty. Plus, you got Billy playing some incredible slide. The tones that he's got coming out, again, of that Marshall 100 lead. The tones you're getting off the slide are just vicious. Oh, they're great. Outstanding hand claps cutting through the powerful mix as well. All right, if you've been watching me for a little while now, you know I love hand claps, and this song had them, and I'd never really noticed them before. Certainly did here, and they were loud and proud, coming strongly through the mix. Excellent hand claps. Excellent vocals in the center of the soundstage as well, and a very powerful delivery of those vocals too. I gotta give Billy Squier some props here. His vocal range and power is really, really good. Shows up well on this pressing. Song number 3, Nobody Knows. Well, here is your 1980s ballad, even in 1981, right? One of the first ones. And again, you get that sense of it's a slow build, very nice guitar, lush, or I should say very nice acoustic guitar, lush. It starts off the song. Billy singing in a high falsetto. And what's nice about it is you're getting a good degree of reverb around his voice. Again, adding to that overall space within the soundstage, as if you are sharing the space with him and the band. Very nice. Great bass playing in space here as well. Never really paid attention to the overall bass playing, but here it's the image has it locked in, and it's playing a very melodious bass, and it's in space, if that makes sense. So kind of not hieroglyphic, Mark, holographic, very holographic bass. Yeah, and it's got that 1980s, what I meant about that, the ballad, it's got a slow build up, and then the rest of the instruments come in, and it becomes more of a louder version of itself in the second part of the song. I will say this, the electric solo that he plays at the end of this song is really nice. It projects itself into the room in front of the rest of the mix. It's loud and it's proud, and it's really nice. All right, song number 4. I didn't write a lot here. It's called I Need You. I probably needed a rest after all the other songs I just heard. What I did say about I Need You is it's got great tones, some more excellent rock tones coming out of the song, and the overall image provided a lot of space and air. Nice image. I got nothing else to say about this one. All right, last song on the album, the title track, Don't Say No. Starts off with really crisp acoustics. Really crisp acoustics. Sounded good. It sounded better than I thought it would. Excellent piano on the right-hand side of the soundstage is floating there in space as well. Yeah, nice piano. And then it ends with power and punch, just like the record started. All right, so what are my final thoughts on Billy Squier's second studio album, Don't Say No? It's great, it really is, but maybe I can get it through to you this way. When I bought this, and I bought it for $40, kind of took a little bit of leap of faith. I'd never heard of Intervention Records before. Said, all right, let's give it a shot, because I know I like the album. Well, let me say this. If I'm going to stand this thing up against some of the nicer records that I own, be it from Analog Productions, Rhino High Fidelity, Mobile Fidelity, Sound Labs, this thing is second to none when comparing it to all of those record labels. Fantastic. From an overall quality of the packaging and the quality of the piece of vinyl itself, again, it takes a backseat to nobody. The amount of enjoyment I got out of this record is easily worth the $40. I had never heard these songs presented this way before. Yeah, really, really good. Really good. Is it worth it to you? I don't know. If you're a fan of Billy Squier, I'd say it's a no-brainer. If you like soundstage and imaging, I'd say it's a no-brainer. If you like classic rock at its best, I'd say it's a no-brainer. So maybe that'll answer your question. There are no flaws on this record. There are no filler songs on this record. Every one of these songs can stand alone. Yes, there are some which are mega hits and some which aren't. But every song on this thing will get you toe tapping and head bobbing, to be sure. Excellent track list on side 1 and side 2. It's just straight up classic rock. So yeah, do I like it? I love this record. So do yourself a favor. If you're a Gen Xer like me, this is our soundtrack, people. Get out there, place the order. Either go on Amazon, go on Intervention Records. I'll put the links below. I don't get any credit for it. I wish I did, but I don't. I paid for this with my own money. Do yourself a favor, place an order. It'll be there in 2 days if you place it with Amazon. So now you can plan your evening. Get it home, give it a bath, put it on the record player, kick back in your chair with your favorite beverage, and be prepared to be blown away in your listening room as this excellent classic rock comes screaming out at you. That Telecaster is so effing good. Anyway, yeah, that's all I gotta say about this one. this one may wind up on my best stuff for the year. It's that good. So that's it, everybody. I hope this helped. Get out there and find a copy of this. Until the next one, take care. Bye.